driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BIFF 부산 영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Talked about the rise in single-person households before, right? Well, we have some definitive numbers now. The Interior Ministry released demographic data on households yesterday. And of the over 24 million number of households, that's the total number, the number of single-person households surpassed the 10 million mark, representing 42% of that total. So what's significant is that figure went up by 3% in just the last 5 years. The number of two-person households also increased in the same period. And not surprisingly, the number of households with 4 or more people went down. It seems like we're living in an era of a major shift in demographics. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Thursday, August 28th on BEFM, 부산 영어 방송. Good morning. Welcome to the program, Wavers. We've talked about the demographics, and another top issue is the local economy, including the whole issue with the consumption recovery coupons. So according to the Korea credit data, card sales for small businesses increased by 6.44% in the 4 weeks of the coupons being circulating compared to the same period last year. But the stagnant economy and low demand has been weighing down on businesses for quite some time, even impacting what downtowns and neighborhoods look like. So what do you remember as being like the busiest downtown area back in your day, like Ponaga? I know it's a little different for every generation, but, assuming you're from Busan or even wherever you are, like what was the busiest area? Well, right now, Gwangalli is apparently the hot area as evidenced by business growth in Busan for the last 10 years. That's according to the Dongnam Statistics Office. Overall, the number of businesses located across Busan's 55 major, business and commercial districts increased by 2.5% in the last decade. But this figure jumped to almost 300% in that strip of area along Gwangan Beach. And it really has become the newest hotspot for millennials and Gen Zers. So this led to a radiating effect for the Suyeong and Milek areas as well, like radiating meaning from that center, that strip, going outwards. And the biggest and the most fluctuating was the area by exit 8 at Seomyeon Station, spanning Seomyeon Rotary to Jeonpo. And here, 985 stores newly opened and some 960 closed their doors. The original downtown area definitely showed a decline, with Nampudong seeing almost a 15% drop in businesses and Pomil Station District seeing a 24% drop, the biggest decrease in all of Busan. What does this mean? This really does affect the livelihoods and jobs of many people in Busan. So going back to the whole thing about the consumption coupons, and with round 2, that's coming up next month along with Chuseok the month after. So let's hope that, all these things together can keep the demand high and help these businesses, stay afloat and also flourish. So that's the main topic for today. Well, for our text topic, it's kind of related to what I just mentioned. I mentioned I asked you what was the hot area when you were younger? So nowadays, what do you do when you meet and hang out with friends or family? 자, 나는 요즘 친구, 지인 만나면 뭐 하고 논다. 놀지 않나요? What do you do when you hang out with friends or family? Do you do something really fun? It can be something really relaxed. It can involve a lot of eating as well. Well, send in your opinions to BEFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform, type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송 to find our channel, subscribe, log in and chat with our other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can reach me for free through Kakao Talk. Same thing there. Type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송 to find us. And then you can add us. And then you can send in your messages, photos as well. And the ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan, like I said, we're streaming live right now on YouTube. You can watch again at your leisure. And if you're in Busan, you can turn on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. Also available on the BEFM app and also the Patbang app. Both are free and easy to download. So let's look ahead to our Thursday. Oh, it's Thursday morning together. So in hour number 1, we have Dr. Ryu for Ask Dr. Ryu, Dr. Ryu Sang-hyo. And then in hour number 2, Vasana will be joining me for a Buzz Breakdown for our special interview today. We're going to talk about the weather, but in a different way. Because sometimes, Haley does a great job, getting all the weather information from the meteorological agencies out there. And then sometimes, I relay the news, and then later on during the day, I'm like, wait, was there rain in the forecast? Basically, why weather predictions still feel so wrong sometimes. We're going to tackle this issue in hour number 2, and I'll be back with News Overview. It's now 7:06, and this is News Overview. Court turns down arrest warrant for Han Duck-soo. The Seoul Central Court rejected the arrest warrant for former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, saying the key facts and the legal assessment may be disputed and that Han poses no flight risk. Special counsel questions lawmaker Kwon Sung-dong as suspect. The special counsel looking into allegations involving former First Lady Kim Gun-hee questioned People Power Party lawmaker Kwon Sung-dong yesterday, focusing on his relationship with the Unification Church. HD Hyundai Heavy and Hyundai Mipo announce merger. HD Hyundai Heavy Industries and HD Hyundai Mipo Dockyard are seeking to merge into a single entity to restructure the industry's capabilities and streamline efficiency. June birth rate marks fastest growth ever. The number of babies born in South Korea went up by 9.4% compared to the same period last year, marking the fastest growth on record according to Statistics Korea yesterday. Two children and suspect dead in mass shooting in Minneapolis. 2 children aged 8 and 10 were killed and 17 injured in a mass shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota in the U.S. on Wednesday local time. The suspect died from a self-inflicted wound. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan. We have Sejin in the studio. Let's say hi. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes. Well, I want to ask you this. What do you do when you meet friends or hang out with friends or family? What do you do?
Well, I love going straight to brunch after waking up. Yeah, and
During the weekends?
During the weekend, on Saturday. I think this is my best time of the week, whole week. So I put my favorite person on the brunch date, especially Saturday. And yeah.
Is it usually a friend or a family member?
Friend.
A friend, okay.
Family usually for dinner.
I see. So what do you usually have for brunch? Is it more of a Western style brunch?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches again.
Sandwiches.
Why am I not surprised? Yes. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Yes. We're going to jump into our local news segment. So BIFF. BIFF is coming up, and BIFF is actually turning 30, right?
Right. It's 30th the Busan International Film Festival, BIFF. And so to celebrate, the organizers have invited a whole bunch of internationally renowned filmmakers and actors.
Yes, so I hear there was a press conference this week at the Busan Cinema Center. What did they announce?
Yep, the festival will run from September 17 to 26. This year's official invitations were 241 from 64 countries, so 17 more than last year. And to accommodate this many number of screenings, they've added new venues like CGV Centum City IMAX, Soyang Theater at Dongsa-Uni, and the Busan Community Media Center.
So more venues. So let's talk about the guest list. Anybody we would know?
Sure. Big names, several high-profile directors from Europe and the US are coming this year. Italian master Pinocchio is coming for the first time. And Guillermo del Toro will make his Korean debut with his new film, Frankenstein.
Okay. So that is pretty huge, actually. What about actors?
Also joining our world-class actress, Juliette Binoche, for the first time in 15 years. And Hollywood's representative actress, Mila Jovovich, is also coming with her latest film, Projector.
Yes. So these are some, big hitters. What about any Asian stars?
Top Korean directors like Park Chan-wook, Lee Chang-dong, Bong Joon-ho, and Kim Ji-yoon will be there. And so will leading actors including Lee Byung-hun, Kang Dong-won, and Ha Jung-woo. Famous Asian directors and stars are also taking appearance, like directors Jafar Panahi, Chai Ming-yang, and Wang Bing will join the celebration.
Yes.
Along with Asian stars like Tony Leung, Ken Watanabe, and Gwaeun May.
Ooh, so it looks like it's shaping up to be quite the anniversary. Lots of people coming and converging on Busan.
Yep. BFF Executive Chairman Jung Han-seok said it's going to be a monumental festival that brings together from the best contemporary Asian directors to world-class masters who have made a milestone in film history.
Yes, and as a reminder, once again, BIFF this year will be in September. So we can look forward to that. That's actually next month. I can't believe. Really coming up soon. So thanks for letting us know. All right, next, let's talk about babies because, just in the news, the national news, we talked about that. But what about here in Busan? Do we have any good news?
Well, Busan just recorded the biggest rise in birth across the country.
Okay.
Like just in June, 1,114 babies were born in the city. That's 14.6% jump from the same month last year.
Okay, so that is impressive. Definitely good news. And how does this compare to the national figures?
Nationwide, the number of births in June reached around 20,000, which is 9.4% from the last year. And then following Busan were Daejeon with 13.3%, Gwangju and North Chungcheong with 12.1%, and South Gyeongsang with 10.9%.
Question is this, so is this just like a one-off?
It's kind of trend. Busan recorded 6,904 births in the first half of this year. That's 481 more babies than last year, a 7.5% increase.
So this is really good news. And I hear there was even a turnaround last year.
Yep, 13,063 babies were born in Busan in 2024. That's 197 more than in 2023. And the total fertility rate rose to 0.68. A small but notable rise of 0.02 point.
Well, every little, baby counts.
Counts, yeah.
Yes, what's behind the rise?
Busan City said it seemed to be due to their tailored life cycle support policies the city has been promoting, from marriage to parenting.
I see. So, let's hope that this trend continues in the long term. Next, I've been hearing about some legal trouble brewing involving the organizer of a recent food festival here in Busan.
Yes, so Wenje police in Busan say they temporarily suspended their investigation into the head of World Ramen Festival, who's facing multiple fraud allegations.
Oh, so fraud. What exactly happened? Let's remind everybody.
Well, the man who led the festival committee has been accused of not paying construction fees and scamming investors and partner companies during prepping for the event. There's been 6 complaints filed against him so far.
Where is he now, though?
The issue is they cannot find him. His whereabouts are currently unknown, so they've listed him as wanted and plan to resume the investigation as soon as they track him down.
Yes, and for listeners, you may have gone, or some of you may miss this event. It was held back in May, correct?
Yeah, it ran from May 2nd to 11 on the Osiria Tourism Complex in Gijang, Busan. The organizers have promoted it as a huge international event, which got over 2,200 ramen brands from 15 countries, including Korea, Busan, Thailand, Vietnam, and the US. But it didn't go quite well.
Yes.
Visitors were a bit disappointed as the festival was poorly managed.
Well, I certainly hope that they can find this man to at least question him, and we'll see where justice goes from there. All right. I hear there's a heartwarming story coming out of Busan, something involving a lost tuition envelope.
Yeah. A citizen found and returned the envelope containing the tuition fee that a Sri Lankan international student lost in Busan.
I can't even imagine. Can you imagine losing your tuition money? So what happened?
According to Busan Nambu Police Station, an international student from Sri Lanka reported that she'd lost the envelope near the crosswalk close to university in Daeyeondong, Namgu, Busan. Having lost the tuition she'd worked so hard to save, she came to station in complete distress.
So how much was in the envelope?
It was about 1 million won in cash. Police who received the report searched the surrounding area and checked the nearby closed-circuit TV, and they eventually discovered that someone had already turned the envelope in as a found item.
Wow.
Apparently, a local citizen had picked it up near the crosswalk, and after wrapping up a busy shift at work, she took it to a nearby police station.
That is amazing, though, when you think about it. I mean, million won in cash. So did the student get it back?
Yep, the police checked the money matched the student's report and returned the money envelope to the student.
So I'm sure that the student felt thankful and probably emotional as well.
Yep, the police said she got very teary and told them she honestly didn't think that she would ever see it again and kept thanking the citizen over and over. And the person who returned it, she just said anyone would have done the same.
Well, the fact that this happened in our city, I love hearing these heartwarming stories. So thank you for sharing this one, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Sajin.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right, we'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning. Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
It's time for your traffic report. First up, we have a cargo truck that has broken down on Changsan-lo going towards Gwangan Bridge right inside Changsan Tunnel number 2. It's congested on Gwanmun-daero from Pangnam Tunnel to Baekyang Tunnel. And Manduk intersection looks busy to Namhae Expressway right towards that Deokcheon ramp. And it's backed up on the Dongso overpass from Hwangyong ramp to the old Kaegum toll gate. It's currently 25 degrees Celsius under sunny skies here in Busan. It's expected to go up to 32. Busan City is under a special heat wave report, 폭염특보. Across the nation, cloudy but still hot. With a daytime high, it's going to go up to 34 in some areas. Showers are forecast for the capital area, Gangwon, 충청, 전라, and Gyeongsang. And that's from the afternoon. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for Top Stories. We have Haley here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. So, isn't it like a little bit cooler? A tad?
Slightly.
Slightly,
It's
right?
darker and cooler.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to fall.
Yes.
We are. Well, text topic time. What do you do when you meet and hang out with friends or family?
It's also, I think, what is just as important as when? Weekdays. Yeah. So
weekdays.
if you're going to go to the places you said, 광안리, 점포동, any of the 핫플, the new up and trendy hot places like the brunch places.
Yes.
I am far too old to stand in line on like a Saturday morning for brunch, which ends up being like a late lunch.
And
by
it's
the time
so
you
hot
get it, and it's
still.
so hot and it's so
Yes.
crowded. So yeah, I like to meet up with friends who have like 휴무, their day off on usually it's like a Thursday today, and then we go to Jeonpo because there are no lines. It's usually fairly empty. Yeah, and then we just talk because you can imagine. We talk a lot. And then if we meet in the evening, we look for cafes that open late because, again, we like to talk until the wee hours.
Yes. Common thread is talking.
We just yak.
All right, we're going to get to our top stories. The 6-day diplomatic trip is over for President Lee Jae-myung, and now it's time for the responses, the analyses. So we're going to start with North Korea's response to the summit.
Right. As our expert pointed out in the interview yesterday, what was kind of expected would be a talk over the tariffs and trade wound up being a huge discussion about North Korea between
Yes.
President Lee Jae-myung and U.S. President Donald Trump. So North Korea actually yesterday shot down any prospects of denuclearization in an editorial piece in its state media.
Yes.
So again, this was actually a response to President Lee Jae-myung's speech at a Washington think tank, where President Lee said that the nuclear non-proliferation treaty must be abided completely on the Korean peninsula. He also described, this was an interesting statement, North Korea as a, quote, poor but ferocious neighbor. 가난하지만 사나운 이웃, saying that you cannot just suppress them, you need to manage them. So according to this editorial on the Korea Central News Agency, the KCNA, for, quote, which is, by the way, for out-of-state readers, this was titled Unveiling the Identity of a Hypocrite with Delusions of Denuclearization. So from the get-go, it is very strongly worded. They're not holding anything back. So the editorial said that our North Korea's position is unchanged in terms of never letting go of its nuclear weapons, which they called it a symbol of national status and a national asset. The news outlet also criticized South Korea as a, quote, politically impoverished country. So this is in response to that poor neighbor comment.
Yes.
Who has handed over its sovereignty to the United States. So they said consistently being ill with this denuclearization delusion won't benefit anyone. And North Korea said that its status as a nuclear armed nation is essential to protect itself from outside hostilities. And for them to change their nuclear policy, essentially the world would need to change, along with the political and military environment of the Joseon Peninsula, referring to the Korean Peninsula.
So that was kind of the discussion, not together, one-sided both ways between the two Koreas about that. And a former top aide from the first Trump administration offered his concerns about a possible summit between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Right. So the man we're talking about right now is former White House National Security Advisor John Bolton,
Right.
who has since then turned into one of the most vocal and high-profile critics of the current Trump administration.
Yes.
So he expressed concerns about President Trump's enthusiasm in meeting Kim Jong-un for another summit.
Sure.
So this was during an online seminar hosted by the Institute for Korean American Studies, ICAS. And he said that the biggest concern in his view was Trump's continued appeal to Kim and his enthusiasm for another summit. In particular, Bolton expressed cautions for a summit potentially held in Pyongyang.
Okay.
Because he said if you look at the geographical progression of the previous summits, we started in Singapore, slightly moved to Hanoi, and then to the DMZ, basically saying we're inching closer and closer. Next logical step would be the North Korean capital. Bolton also linked this to Trump's desire for a Nobel Peace Prize, which the White House and Trump has not been shy about, and how one of the opinions that Trump thinks the ways that he can get a Nobel Peace Prize is through a nuclear disarmament, which is 핵군축 with China and Russia. However, Bolton said if this thought expands to other nuclear powers and getting them to agree to a nuclear disarmament, it could then effectively recognize North Korea as a nuclear nation, which would be in official capacity, which the U.S. has never done.
Yes.
And as for the summit with Lee Jae-myung itself, Bolton assessed this as a positive start that broke kind of this air of awkwardness between the two leaders. And as Lee pointed out, Trump and Lee's shared experiences of having been subject of assassination attempts, it, in an odd way, seems to have kind of opened this this sort of a connection, formed an actual level of bonding between the two leaders.
I see. Well, very interesting from John Bolton. We're going to move on to a domestic issue for now. The government is seeking to eliminate the criteria for legal guardian or provider as a form of improving welfare.
Right. So the government said it is going to actually get rid of the standards of legal obligatory provider. In Korean, we call that 부양의무자 in phases. So it has been pointed out as one of the biggest obstacles of providing basic welfare for those who are in need but may not appear so on paper.
Okay.
So this issue kind of surfaced about a decade ago, back in the winter of 2014, when a mother and two daughters in Songpa-gu district, they committed suicide after they suffered from economic hardship. We called it 송파 세 모녀 사건. This case was heartbreaking because you could tell they really tried as they left, along with their note, last month's rent and utilities, drawing attention to kind of these blind spots within the welfare system.
Right. So I'm sure many people do remember that story. So what is this obligatory provider system?
Right. So 부양의무자 system is when one qualifies for welfare in terms of how much they make or how much they have in income or assets. But because this person legally on paper has a provider, it could be a parent or an adult child for older individuals, they don't qualify because on paper, the government sees it as, well, you have someone who can provide for you. But then in real life, family members could be estranged, they could just be absent or just never had a presence in their lives.
True.
So for the National Basic Living Security, this is called 생계급여, the government will get rid of this provider rule altogether by the year 2027. And the picture is though more complicated for medical benefits. However, the government said it will go through an overhaul to only apply this rule to providers who have high levels of income or assets so they can cover more citizens under the system.
I see.
Of course, this then would require greater funding and therefore social dialogue. And experts point to utilizing technology. So there's been talk of plans to utilize AI to pinpoint these issues. But of course, AI can only do so much.
True.
Also tying that into human factors like your neighborhood community systems for a tighter social security network.
Yes, because we definitely don't want to hear about those tragedies again. All right, well, speaking of social security, I want to talk about this regional discrepancy in medical care.
Right, so this is a persistent problem with the country's medical system, although fairly well-functioning, still regional gaps. And we're talking here about preventable deaths that are more prevalent in provincial areas still. So specifically, we're talking about deaths from treatable illnesses, 치료 가능 사망률. So these are early deaths that could have been prevented had there had been effective or timely treatment. So according to Health and Welfare Ministry data released by People Power Party lawmaker Baek Jong-un, of the 17 metropolitan cities and provinces, Chungbuk had the highest fatality rate from these preventable causes at 49.94 for every 100,000 people. So remember that almost 50. This was 13 higher than the city with the lowest rate, which was Ulsan. So that's not insignificant.
Right.
By the way, the average figure nationwide was 45.36. And then following Chungbuk, which had the highest rate of preventable deaths, we're looking at cities of Incheon, Busan, 강원, 전북, 경북, 전남, 충남, 대구, 제주, 광주 as having above the average fatality rate. So that's a long list.
Yes.
That is a lot of the provinces and cities. Seoul had, a little unsurprisingly, the second lowest fatality rate at 39.55.
Yes.
Figures do change year by year, but we haven't really seen an overall improvement. So the lawmaker who released the figures said that this is a warning sign that the country's medical system is not working in a balanced manner and called for expanding public hospitals by region and providing support for essential medical personnel.
Such an important issue. So thanks for covering this. Okay, now we're going to go back to Donald Trump for our final story and his growing conflict with members of the Federal Reserve.
And it's not just one member, it has grown to members.
Yes.
So President Donald Trump is actually demanding that one of the governors of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Yeonjun Isa, Lisa Cook, be fired. And Cook actually said she's filing a lawsuit to challenge this removal.
Ooh, so who exactly is she and why is Trump firing her or trying to get her fired?
Right. So this is a very, very important position, one of the most important in the world or global finances. But Fed chairs are fairly low profile. Now she has kind of shot into public spotlight.
Okay.
So Lisa Cook is a Biden appointee. She's one of the 7 governors on the board of the Federal Reserve. We of course know Jerome Powell, but they, all 7 of them, play a key role in setting the monetary policy of the U.S., which is the biggest economy in the world.
Yes.
So she has voted along with the majority of the governors in recent months to hold the key interest rate steady. But let's talk about Lisa Cook herself. She is the first and only Black woman to serve in this role.
Yes.
She was actually raised in the South, and because of her age, this was in the recently desegregating South, meaning there was a policy in the U.S. until very recently to segregate white people from people of color in areas like schools. She was one of the very first Black kids, along with her siblings, to go to a recently integrated school.
Yes.
And she actually has a physical scar above her eye from a racially charged incident.
Right.
Her studies, naturally, she did get her first major in Russian economics, but it also focused on how lack of security or safety from government and society leads to lower innovation and growth.
Yes.
And then coming back to what's been happening recently. On Monday of this month, President Trump posted on social media a letter to Cook saying that she was being removed from the Board of Governors due to what he claims as mortgage fraud.
Oh.
So he accused her of having signed, so this actually happened several years ago, but she signed 2 documents from 2 different states when she bought homes, not that far apart, saying that both places were her primary residences. And he argues that this is for her to get a lower mortgage rate, claiming that this is mortgage fraud.
I see. Well, this last part really does take us to the bigger picture of Trump's ongoing feud with the Federal Reserve and, of course, Jerome Powell.
Right. So Trump has been increasingly pressuring the Federal Reserve, particularly, as you said, Powell, to lower rates and even previously threatened to fire Powell.
Yes.
So here's the thing. A president of the United States has never fired a Fed governor before. So if he succeeds in doing so this time around, this could then threaten the other 6 board members.
Yes.
And this is a matter that affects the global economy because the Federal Reserve is supposed to be, and so far at least has been, an independent agency. And by the way, Federal Reserve governors serve 14-year terms specifically for that reason. So they wouldn't be affected by whoever's in the White House.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. If the independence of the Federal Reserve is put under doubt, then credibility of the entire U.S. economy then kind of goes under a microscope, then it could raise the borrowing cost for the U.S. government, 국채금리, like loan rates, and that could have wide-reaching impacts on the entire global economy.
Indeed, indeed. This is not just a tiff. This is really important for world economy. So thanks for covering all the news. And of course, we'll check in with you in hour number 2. So thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We're ready for our first song break for this Thursday morning. So here it is, 너는 내 운명 by 하하.
세상에 제일 착한 사람 내가 자랑하고 싶은 사람 그게 너야 너뿐이야 You are my lady yeah. 맛있는 거 먹으면 생각나 기침하면 약 챙겨주고파 그게 너야 너뿐이야 You are so pretty 너는 나의 태양 과분한 너의 사랑 눈부시게 빛나는 너에게 부족한 나 너는 나의 바다 넘치는 너의 사랑 세상 누구보다 널 사랑해 Oh my love yeah. 네가 제일 값져 보였으면 네가 제일 행복할 수 있다면 그거면 돼 그뿐이야 You are my lady 너는 나의 태양 과분한 너의 사랑 눈부시게 빛나는 너에게 부족한 나 너는 나의 바다 넘치는 너의 사랑 세상 누구보다 널 사랑해 Oh my love 너 없이 쓸쓸해 날씨처럼 쌀쌀해 비가 오나 눈이 오나 오직 너뿐인걸 너 때문에 살아 너 없으면 나 죽어 못난 날 지금껏 사랑해준 내 사랑
Dr. Liu. And guess who's here? Dr. Liu. He's here.
Good morning.
How are you? Oh, so bright.
Yes.
You're still in summer mode. I'm trying to transition to fall because I'm so sick of the summer. So.
Oh, yeah.
Hence, yes.
This summer is one of those hardest in my life because I don't know why, but am I getting older or the weather is getting hotter? I don't know.
The weather's getting hotter.
Oh, very. Yeah. I used to see a lot of snow when I was young. But although I live in the Seoul area, but Busan, I don't know. But these days, anyhow, I'm looking forward to summer season and the winter season.
Oh, winter season. I don't know. I kind of wish it would just be all year round fall, because I feel like Korea in fall is so beautiful with all the, the changing leaf colors and the cooler weather. It's so perfect. And then suddenly we're going to get hit, bam, with ice cold winter. But anyhow, text topic today.
Yes.
What do you do when you meet or hang out with friends or family? I'm so curious. What do you do?
Okay, it's been ages since I hang out with my friends.
Oh.
So there's not much thing I can talk about this one. But when I was with my friends, I couldn't help but talking about medical stuff. A lot of medical jargons is for us to talk about, using a lot of medical jargons and talk about patients and also talk about our kids. And I'm over 50, so that's why these days the topic has a little bit changed. I didn't know that when I was young I could be one of those patients I used to see. And now that I'm having some kind of medicines for some reasons, we tend to talk about how are you? Are you taking any medicine? Well,
that's kind of funny. Like even as doctors, assuming that your friends are, some of them may be doctors, and you start talking about like your ailments.
That's right.
Like, what are you taking for
That's
that?
right.
What about with your family?
Oh, family.
Yes.
My son loves play with me. So I'm so proud of myself. Like I said before the show,
yes.
He prefers playing with me over playing video games or watching YouTube channels.
And I think that goes to show you, and I sincerely mean this, not just on air, like it means you're being a good dad. If your son still wants to hang out with dad, you're doing something right. So.
Yeah, we play baseball in our living room. That doesn't mean that our apartment is so big. We have a 34평, but we play baseball with like a ping pong ball and a small drumstick. Yeah, so it's really fun.
Is your wife okay with that? She doesn't say anything?
She says a lot of things.
But you can't say on air.
But under one condition, she sets limits. Oh, you got to do for maybe 10 minutes. And yeah,
so within those 10 minutes,
baseball
with ping pong balls.
That's right.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing. We're going to jump into our topic for today. What are we covering today, Dr. Du?
Today I'm going to talk about acne.
Acne?
acne?
Ooh, acne, yes.
그쵸. 애가 크니 안 크니?
Dun-dun-dun.
Okay.
We missed that ajak.
Okay.
We did, really.
Yeah. When I was resident, we used to call it acne. But English, I looked it up on the internet. I realized that it's called acne.
Yes, it is. Right. So, what about acne?
Okay. First of all, for those who don't know what acne is, acne 한국말로 여드름.
네.
여드름. Yeah. We have a lot of our skin. Everybody has their skin.
Yes.
Have different colors and different skin complexions. But skin works like a filter system, and also not only the barrier of our skin prevent us from getting contracting some germs.
Sure.
And also every skin has numerous tons of gazillions of pores.
Yes.
Like sweat pores, especially 땀샘 같은 거.
네.
But when those pores get clogged or covered by some infections or some dead skin cells or some oily stuff, it causes inflammation. It causes, in that case, we call it 여드름, acne. 예, 그렇죠. acne라고 합니다.
네.
Yeah.
So, acne is so common. Many people, if not all, maybe have a small bout of it. Some have severe bouts of acne, especially during teenage years. Is that because of the hormones?
That's right. So there are 5 reasons why we have acne. First of all, is like you said, hormonal changes.
Okay.
During puberty, a lot of hormones are flaring up and get activated. So hormonal boost can increase oil production.
Yes.
And the second reason is dead skin cells clog pores. And the third one is bacteria.
Oh.
There's a specific bacteria that's responsible for acne.
Oh.
It's very cute.
What is it called?
QT bacterium.
Is this an 아재객 or 진짜예요?
It's a real one. QT bacterium.
Okay.
The pronunciation, you gotta do it.
진짜네요.
Yeah.
QT bacterium.
QT bacterium.
But it's not so cute.
It's not so cute, but it's a QT bacterium acne. Yeah, that grows inside those pores. And the fourth one is immune system reacts with inflammation.
Yes.
So those are things working together synergetically or cooperatively. So there's no single one factor that causes acne.
I'm smiling because I'm still thinking of the cutie bacterium. So that's kind of like the science behind, acne that you might get during teenagers. And even beyond, though, some people have acne way beyond teenagers.
그렇죠, that's
네.
right. Some people experience acne when after 20 years old.
Yes.
Because of a lot of things. I'm going to go over that later.
Okay. So, we all know this saying. We've heard it. We are what we eat. Does that apply to acne as well?
That's right. 정말 중요해요. That's so much true. So we are what we eat. First of all, there are foods that are bad for our acne, and there are foods that are good for our acne.
Okay.
First, let me go over the worst one. Okay, high sugary foods like soda and cakes and white breads.
Oh, yeah.
And these spike insulin. So there are many things that spikes our insulin, like glucose, things like that. That boosts oil production, and also other things include dairy products like skim milk, and some other dairy products can increase and worsen your acne for some people, and also fast foods and fried foods that cause inflammation.
Sure.
And also on the other hand, some foods that are good for our skin is everybody knows that fruits. Veggies,
yes,
and foods high in omega-3 acids.
Salmon.
Yeah, that's right.
연어 먹고 싶어요.
Yeah, and walnut 이런 거죠.
Walnuts. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And whole grains that are good for our skin because it stabilizes blood sugar.
So those are the good foods.
That's right.
So it's not just like okay, so we understand now your diet. What you eat may affect, I guess, how much acne you do or don't get. What else though? Because we need to know the ins and outs, because some adults still get acne, or maybe you have teenagers that are going through this right now.
Yeah.
So we need to know what else do we need to know?
Okay, lifestyle habits are really important because sleep is really crucial. Sleep. Sleeping beauty is really scientifically proven stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 정말 잠을 잘 자야지 되겠고요. And stress. And stress is one of the contributing factors for acne.
Okay.
So even if you didn't have acne in your puberty or childhood, you might experience acne after 20 or 25 years old when you are at work, a lot of stress and sleep deprived. In that case, you might experience acne.
But I was thinking, like, when you were talking about like sleep and stress, so that means probably the majority of students here in Korea at some point have deprivation of sleep.
Oh, that's right.
And like are stressed out because of school, right?
Yeah.
But I do have Tommy who says, I had no acne when I was a teenager. That's what he says. So are some people just genetically prone to not getting acne?
Yeah, if it runs in your family, you're likely to have it. So genetic factors might play a huge role, but environmental factors, we have to take it into account. Okay. And also smoking and alcohol use is bad for our acne, and also not washing off makeup properly can also worsen acne. And also wearing some helmets or tight caps for a long time, it can clog your pore, and it can worsen or exacerbate acne issues.
I see. Well, I also want to get to some myths. I love when you bust those myths, because there's so many myths out there, and most of them are not true. That's why they're called myths. So, what are some of the biggest acne myths that you hear, Dr. Yu?
Okay, myths buster.
Okay,
Dr.
here we
Yu.
go.
Okay, eating greasy foods bad for our acne.
Isn't that true? No?
Okay, greasy food actually doesn't directly cause acne.
Okay, not directly.
Yeah. like I said earlier, the high spike of glucose causes acne worsening.
Okay.
But greasy food is a fatty stuff. It doesn't increase the insulin spike that so rapidly.
I see.
Yeah, but many people experience acne after having greasy foods, not because of the food, but when you're after having chickens or burgers,
yes,
what happens to your fingers and hands?
Oh, greasy.
It's greasy.
Yeah.
And what would you do with those fingers? It touches your face.
Ooh.
Yeah, that habits can cause or trigger or it cause breakouts.
I see. Ooh.
So it's not the food, but your habits.
And also, like, I think people don't realize how often they touch their face without realizing it.
That's right.
And our hands are so dirty.
Yeah. So funny thing is that we tend to touch some, let's say that if you have some pimple on your face, you tend to touch more often.
I'm sure. Yeah. Definitely.
So, for instance, if you have some kind of a bruising or some scales, 뭐라 그러죠? 이게 scratching wounds. And after that, some scabs are forming.
Yes.
And then we tend to take
pick the scab.
That's right. It causes more inflammation.
We know we're not supposed to, but it's like 거슬리잖아요. So you want to pick it off your skin, right?
Yeah, it impedes the process of healing. So that's funny thing. Yeah,
yes.
It's human nature. I don't know. And so the second myth is popping pimples helps heal better.
Does it?
Oh, yeah. If it's done correctly, yeah, popping pimples is okay.
We have a question for you.
Yes.
When you said the word pimple, Busan 아드님 said, what's the difference between pimple and acne? Same thing?
Same thing.
Yes.
Pimple, but pimple is a little bit broader term.
Okay.
It also includes folliculitis. Folliculitis is an inflammation in your hair follicle.
I see.
But
generally speaking, we can use them interchangeably.
Yes, 모든 거 막 뾰루지 나는 걸 다 이제 핀폴이라고 얘기를 하죠.
Okay.
But a lot of people do it wrong, so that's why it causes more inflammation, and also actually it pushes bacteria deeper and it raises the chance of scars.
Yes.
I remember when I was in high school, I kind of popped my pimple just right now by my nostril.
Yes.
It left me a huge scar. So when I was a resident, I wanted to be a guinea pig because my friend dermatologist, he was practicing some kind of laser therapy. So, hey, please do it on my nostril. I have a big scar.
I'll be your guinea pig.
Yes, please. I got it removed.
You're so funny, Dr. Dio.
Yeah.
All right. What about this myth?
Okay, myth is sun exposure and tanning clears acne.
Does it?
No, it's not true. Yeah. Tanning can also lead to hyperpigmentation and also it increases the aging process of skin. So, like I said, good foods and sleeping well and meditation through stress management. And those are the key kind of methods or basic.
Yes. But I want to get, this is important. We need some skincare tips. Because, in Korea, it's all about the skin, right? So what are some good rules to follow?
Okay, first, wash your hands and gently, and also try not to touch your face as less as possible.
Yes.
Okay? And wash your face gently, not too much.
Sometimes, like my roommate, he 너무 빡빡빡빡 하는 느낌이요. Like 진짜, like really, really hard. And I always say, be gentle with you, especially, the skin around your face, right?
Yeah, in Korea, a lot of people tend to scrub their face.
Right.
So it kind of breaks down the skin normal barrier. So it gives it gives our skin chance to getting infected or contracting some more virus. So it increases the breakouts. So I try not to face washing so often.
Okay.
And also plenty of water because our body needs water, and also use daily sunscreen.
Yes.
And enough sleep and watch what you eat.
Yes.
Lots of veggies and fewer instant noodles and some other fast foods. Okay.
This is stuff we know, but we need to practice. So what would you like to say in closing to our listeners today?
Okay, if you have some kind of a skin issues that might do you in, you might feel a very sometimes timid, not not want to be extroverted.
Yes.
In that case, think of it this way: a clear skin may take time, but your confidence begins today.
Ooh, your confidence begins today. Love it. Well, thank you for going over the ins and outs of acne and also busting those myths. And we'll check in with you next week. How about that?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
All right, everybody. This was Dr. Liu, and we're going to get to our final song for hour number 1. This is Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
Say, baby, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans. Don't say that. Shut your trap. I'm sipping wine. Sip. In a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean. My pool warm. Just shake. Smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the east wing and the west wing of this mansion. What's happening? So if you're tryna lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, what you smoke? I got the haze. And if you're hungry, girl, I got fillets. Ooh, baby, don't keep me waiting. There's so much love we could be making. I'm talking kissing, cuddling, rose petals in the bathtub. Girl, it's jumping, it's bubbling. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
김밥가게 박 사장님도, 문구점 김 사장님도, 우리 부산의 경제를 움직이는 사람들. 우리 동네 작은 가게로 향하는 발걸음이 우리 부산의 경제를 키워가는 한 걸음입니다. 부산 방송광고 발전 협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. This is Spotlight News. Court turns down arrest warrant for Han Duck-soo. The Seoul Central Court rejected the arrest warrant for former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, saying the key facts and the legal assessment may be disputed and that Han poses no flight risk. Han is facing charges of abetting the ringleader of an insurrection, falsifying and destroying official documents, perjury, and other offenses linked to former President Yoon Suk-yeol's martial law declaration last year. Han's attorneys are said to have denied most of the charges except perjury. The special counsel said it will review the ruling and consider whether to file for a warrant again. Special counsel questions lawmaker Kwon Song-dong as suspect. The special counsel looking into allegations involving former First Lady Kim Gun-hee questioned People Power Party lawmaker Kwon Song-dong yesterday, focusing on his relationship with the Unification Church. Kwon faces allegations of having received 100 million won in illegal political funding from an official at the church in exchange for favors. The council yesterday also summoned Chun Sung-bae, also known as the shaman Kunjin, for the second time. Kwon Song-dong told reporters on his way into the council offices that he's confident because he is innocent and accused the special counsel of defamation. HD Hyundai Heavy and Hyundai Mipo announced merger. HD Hyundai Heavy Industries and HD Hyundai Mipo Dockyard are seeking to merge into a single entity to restructure the industry's capabilities and streamline efficiency. The boards of the two companies approved the plan to finalize the merger by December. The companies will relaunch as HD Hyundai Heavy Industries within the year. Both shipbuilders are affiliates of HD Korea Shipbuilding, an offshore engineering corporation, the world's largest shipbuilding company. Industry insiders say that the government's shipbuilding cooperation initiative with the U.S. played a part in this merger. June birth rate marks fastest growth ever. The number of babies born in South Korea went up by 9.4% compared to the same period last year, marking the fastest growth on record, according to Statistics Korea yesterday. A total of 19,953 babies were born in June, which also marked the 12th consecutive month of growth and a positive sign for the country's ultra-low birth rate. An official from the statistics agency said that the uptick could be attributed to a continued rise in weddings, an increase in the population population of women in their 30s, and a positive social perception on childbirth. Two children and suspect dead in mass shooting in Minneapolis. Two children aged 8 and 10 were killed and 17 injured in a mass shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the U.S. on Wednesday local time. The suspect died from a self-inflicted wound. The attacker has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman from suburban Minneapolis. The police have not been able to confirm his relationship with the church. The FBI said it is investigating the school shooting in Minneapolis as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Waggle Waggle. Haley's back.
I'm here to waggle.
And Leslie, your comment? Good job on all the baby making. For the baby overall, the babies in the country, we want to up that rate. So to those of you who are trying.
Two of my friends actually, very small, such a small sample size of my friends, tiny. Two of my friends actually had babies this year.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
It really does go in with that pattern.
Yes.
Definitely going along the birth rate.
They're contributing.
Unlike myself.
And yeah, no more for me either. But we're going to get into that. Yeah, that ship has sailed, so sailed. We're going to get into the first story for Waggle Waggle. Yet another bomb threat called into a school in Seoul. What is going on?
Seriously, we gotta stop. But a fax came into Seoul's Seongdong police saying that bombs were installed in two middle schools in that jurisdiction. The police, of course, evacuated the schools and swept the buildings, but found nothing. School was canceled for that day. Also, Jongno police in Seoul received a report about a bomb threat at another middle school and responded to the call. So that's just 3 from yesterday.
Wow.
By the way, there's been an overall uptick in these bomb threats by 28% in the last 2 years.
So these bomb threats have become almost commonplace in the past few weeks, and there have been calls to raise the punishment level.
Right. Like, I'm afraid, is this becoming kind of the new prank? Is this the ding-dong ditch of whatever generation that might be calling these in? And here's the thing. They are a waste of police resources and even loss in sales for businesses that are affected. So in August alone, and that's excluding yesterday's incidents, we've had bomb threats against large public places like department stores, an amusement park, one of the major concert arenas or sports arenas, and now even schools.
Yes.
By the way, there is this act, the Public Intimidation Act, 협박해도, which went into effect earlier this year. However, punishment under the law has been controversial. So on paper, under the law, it says that someone who makes threats against larger public safety may be subject to up to 5 years in prison or up to 20 million won in fines. However, what it says on paper and the sentences that are actually doled out, vastly different.
Yes.
Recently, the court sentenced a man who threatened the public with a homemade bomb to a 6 million won fine, no jail time. But they did take into consideration the fact that the defendant has a developmental disability. But 6 million won. Yeah.
Yes. And people have pointed to other countries that have far harsher punishments for such threats and things like blackmail.
Right. So we should note that for countries that have similar laws against making threats to public safety, at least when it comes to criminal prosecution, the ranges of the law, it's fairly similar. So U.S. federal law stipulates very similar, under 5 years in prison for threats. However, in the States, what sets it apart is just the act of sending a message that poses threat to the general public. That act is a crime itself, regardless of whether you installed a bomb or not.
Yes.
In Europe, countries like Germany and the UK, they have similar crimes and similar punishment under 3 years in prison in Germany. But in Germany, they impose fines based on your wealth level. So fines can differ.
Right.
In the UK, a guilty verdict in such case can go up to 7 years. That's criminal.
Okay.
Let's turn to civil suits.
Oh.
Because, say you called in a bomb threat to a department store, they've had to shut down for half a day. The department store can file for damages. And what's more, in these countries, not Korea, the defendant has to pay for the costs of the police force that was called in for wasting public resources.
Yes.
Let's go to Austria, where a 13-year-old called in a mass shooting threat to his school. Age of 13 would be a criminal minor in South Korea, by the way. The police sent a bill for 11,000 euros, or about 17.8 million won, to the family of the boy. 1,700만 won. In the U.S. back in 2014, a man made a prank call to his sister saying that with a fake voice, there was a bomb in her car.
To your sister?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, just, this is outside my realm of understanding. But let's go to the facts. The call resulted in a 3-hour shutdown of a highway. I mean, the court ordered this man to compensate the police $7,270, or about 18 million won. By the way, that is just for the police.
Okay.
If you have caused damages or losses to a company or an institution, that amount skyrockets. Let's go again to the U.S., where a 2022 case of a bomb threat resulted in $456,000 of damages to a company, and the defendant was liable to pay all of that. Here's the thing, though. Let's bring it back to South Korea. Compensations for waste of a police force, that's limited because, interestingly, the law and the system, they see even the responding to these type of false threats as being in the realm of responsibility of the police. I mean, yes, because you never know, but also at the same time, from kind of a common sense personal view, should it be? Anyways, I mean, better safe than sorry, but still, corporations, for their part, they tend to be more sensitive to public opinion. It's just optics of a major corporation filing for large compensations against like a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old.
But still,
if the 13 or 14-year-old was old enough to call in a bomb threat, I don't know. That prevents them from kind of actively filing for action. So experts say that it is important to have an overall social atmosphere where we do see compensations for these wastes of resources.
Such a waste. And of course, what about the fear that you're instilling into people? So
also, it is a vicious cycle because if there is social perception that, oh, that's a prank and I won't get any retribution for it, people might feel that it's okay, and it never is.
Never.
No.
All right. Up next, we know about false or inaccurate information from AI chatbots, but some experts are warning of an AI-stemmed psychosis.
Right, psychosis referring to 정신병, mental illnesses. So excessive or obsessive use of chatbots can spiral into paranoid and delusional behavior. At least it can. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yes.
So AI psychosis refers to life-altering mental health spirals that coincide with obsessive use of anthropomorphized AI chatbots. Primarily, I mean, we do talk about 챗GPT. That is the most popular. So this is, I'm citing a study from King's College.
Yes.
It's awaiting peer review. But it says that chatbots reflect and amplify the user's beliefs and claims. It's kind of like an echo chamber.
Yes.
So if there were concerning issues before, it can worsen or amplify delusions, especially for users that are in an emotionally or psychologically vulnerable state.
Right.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
So if I tell a chatbot, I was chosen by God to save the world. I can fly. I'm a genius. Here's the thing about chatbots, and this has been kind of memeified as well. They're so encouraging. You can do anything, or you say something that's completely wrong. That's an interesting opinion. Oh, that's a good thought.
I see.
It won't tell you. I mean, depending on whether you use the paid version or not, but their job is to kind of agree with you, almost it seems, and it will encourage you.
Okay.
Chatbots, in one case study, the chatbot told a man, "You can fly if you truly believe." No, you can't. No one can. And he it wound up not being funny because he basically severed contact from his family and attempted
to fly. Oh no.
A man in Toronto spoke to his chatbot for about 3 weeks. Again, excessive and obsessive. That started weirdly as a simple question about pie.
Like
And then,
pi as in...
like 3.141, the
not
PI.
eating pie.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, not eating
PI.
pie.
Okay.
Math. So the bot convinced him that he cracked this previously never been cracked cryptographic secrets. Basically, he was like a gift from God to solve math's mysteries. Yeah. By the way, it is important to note that the man says he has no prior history of psychosis or serious mental illness, but he fell into this delusion. And, and he asked things like, "Are you sure? Like, are you being? Am I crazy?"
Yes.
But ChatGPT continued to assure him, "No, you're not. What wound up being delusions were real." So, yeah, and then it does get to dangerous territory because there's a case in the U.S. where a 14-year-old boy attempted suicide in 2024 after talking to a character-based chatbot, and there's an ongoing lawsuit regarding this.
Wow.
So, again, chatbots are just tools, so people who are in previously vulnerable states that might amplify it still. So experts say that this trend of anthropomorphizing AI chatbots, meaning giving them human values, can cut people off from reality and social bonding while kind of distorting a sense of ethics or morality. So some states in the United States, they do mandate AI assistant service firms to have risk detection protocol. So as chatbots do become very much prevalent in people's everyday lives, these risks are something we have to consider.
Absolutely. Thanks for going over this because we don't want it to get to that point where you're really, really depending on chatbots that much.
Right.
All right. Let's change stories and gears. Up next, a Canadian influencer has claimed that she filed for damages against Samyang for their spicy noodles, but the company says this is not true.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd case, which is what this segment's all about.
Exactly.
But one Canadian TikToker claims that she got a stomach ulcer from eating these fire noodles, 불닭볶음면, and she posted a video claiming these, and she said she's going to file a suit against Samyang. However, it's apparently not true. So this entire thing went viral.
Yes.
And it went even more viral because even after she said she's claiming for 50 million Canadian dollars, she kept eating the fire noodles in front of the camera. So, yeah, which, why would you?
Yes.
However, Samyang issued a statement recently saying that there are actually no lawsuits against the company in North America and that spread of this misinformation is seriously harming the company and its reputation.
Right.
So it's actually reviewing legal action.
Because we're talking about, it could be libelous and defamation.
Right.
We'll see. All right, for our last story. This story seems to be something out of a movie. A piece of art stolen by Nazis that appeared in an ad?
This
really?
is a motif that was a backdrop of a movie, if I'm not mistaken, but it's real life. An Italian master painting stolen by the Nazis from a Jewish art dealer during the Second World War was spotted in a real estate ad in Argentina. So we're just going all over the globe. So this is a portrait of a lady Giuseppe. It's hanging above a sofa inside a property listed in Buenos Aires. This home was once owned by a senior Nazi official. A lot of them did move to South America after the Second World War, fleeing a prosecution.
Yes.
This particular officer, he was interviewed by American interrogators, was dubbed, quote, a snake of the lowest sort, meaning his crimes are especially egregious. His daughters put the home up for sale with the photo featuring the painting. And there is a database of lost wartime art of people trying to find the real owners.
Yes.
And it turns out that the Nazis looted hundreds of works owned by this particular Jewish art dealer during the war. However, in terms of justice, recovery might be ways off because it seems that the daughters aren't gonna, at least for now, it seems they're not gonna be accountable. They've evaded any attempts to contact them. Yes. So, and one daughter actually told a media outlet, I don't know what information you want from me, and I don't know what painting you're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. So, lawyers from the Jewish art dealer's estate, they say they're going to make every effort to reclaim the painting. So, far from over, this story.
Yes. Hopefully we'll have an update on that. But thank you for going over all the Waggly stories today. And of course, we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, listeners, let's get to your traffic and weather. It's now 8:18. Here's your traffic update. First up, let's talk about Gayadero. It is congested from Kaegum intersection to Naengjeong station. And there's some backup on Yeonsuro between Busan station and Shilli three-way intersection, both directions. And Chungnyeodero looks slow from Minam to Naesong intersection. Lastly, some traffic on Dongso overpass from Gamjeon ramp to the old Kaegum tollgate. Currently it's 27 degrees Celsius under sunny skies here in Busan. It's going to go up to 32 today. Busan City is under a special heat wave report, 보겸특보. Across the nation, it's cloudy but still hot, with daytime highs going up to 34 in some areas. Showers are forecast for the capital area, Gangwon, Chungcheong, Jeolla, and Gyeongsang from the afternoon. And this was your traffic and weather. It's time for your special interview. Let me ask you this, listeners. Have you ever been let down by a weather forecast that didn't turn out to be true? Well, most of us probably have, and I told you earlier, sometimes I feel guilty because I said something during the weather report. I'm like, wait, it's not true? Well, so how much should we rely on these forecasts is the big question. Is it simply that the weather changes in unpredictable ways, or is there something missing in the forecasting system itself? Today, we're going to take a closer look at why forecasts sometimes feel unreliable and what that really means for how much we can trust them. Joining us is Professor Amy McGovern, Lloyd G. and Joyce Austin Presidential Professor in the School of Computer Science and in the School of Meteorology at the University of Oklahoma. Welcome to the program, Professor.
Thank you.
Yes, so first, could you explain in layperson's terms just how weather forecasts are made?
Sure. So they're almost all done in the computer now. So they're all done using what they call numerical weather processes, numerical weather prediction programs. And they are, like, the easiest way to explain it. If you imagine a whole bunch of squares, like Minecraft squares, you're breaking the world up into all of these squares and you're simulating the physics of what's going to happen in the weather inside each one of these squares. And then the squares have to talk to each other, which is why it's really complicated, right? Because the size of the square that you use tells you how much information you can have in it. If you're trying to simulate something that's really small scale, but your squares are really large, then you're not going to be able to find that information. And also you have to approximate physics because the laws of physics are really continuous equations, which you can't really do inside a computer.
Oh, wow. So even just that visual of squares like in that game that you mentioned, but then they all have, in relation to each other, it sounds very complicated indeed, but thank you for trying to simplify it for us. So why do people kind of feel, I know this is not a great barometer, but they feel like, the weather forecasts sometimes are so wrong? And is it just a feeling, or is it true that, the predictability or unpredictability of weather is a real thing?
A lot of the weather phenomena are really hard to predict too far out in the future. And the other problem is that a lot of them are very small scale. So if I heard you talk about a chance of rain.
Yes.
I don't know the areas that you mentioned well enough to know specifically how big they are, but one of the issues with rain, for example, is that rain phenomena can be really intense in the place that it rains, but it might be really small scale. And it's hard to get those smaller scale phenomena right. And there's a couple of reasons. One is those boxes I talked about, right, the size of them. But another is just there's a lot of chaos in the atmosphere. We don't have a really good picture of exactly what the state of the atmosphere is everywhere. So figuring out exactly what's going to happen in every single point is really hard.
Yes.
So I think it's, something like temperature we get right most of the time, right? I don't think people feel that and also if you're off by a degree in the temperature, most people don't really care.
Right.
But if I told you that it wasn't going to rain and you got poured on, you care more.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that, Professor. So in terms of the forecasting system itself, you've already alluded to it, but with the difficulty in trying to predict certain phenomena, there are limits in the forecasting system, and that's something that we should be able to kind of digest and understand and accept.
I agree with that. Yeah. So, I think people get spoiled because forecasting is getting so good for so many phenomena that they think you should just be able to do everything. So, for example, tropical cyclones are very large-scale phenomena that people can predict many days in advance because they are such large-scale phenomena and their signals show up very early. And so people think, well, then why can't you tell me about my rainstorm? But my rainstorm is a very large, small-scale phenomena. And if I go down to something even more smaller scale, like flash flooding, if it has to rain in a very specific area and fill up like right near a river to hit that flash flood to go down, that's a very hard problem. And all the factors that lead to that specific forecast are very small scale and hard to observe, and that makes it harder to get that forecast for you, which is why when you see these general warnings, they're much larger areas. There's a risk of flash flooding in this very large area because we know that there's likely to be a large precipitation, but we can't tell you exactly where it is.
Ah, okay.
Does that help explain it?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting a better sense of this. So in reality, so if we had to look at the accuracy of these forecasts, I mean, how accurate are they? Like if we had to put a numerical value on these forecasts?
It's hard to... It really depends on the phenomena when you're trying to evaluate the forecast, right? So if I'm trying to give you a accuracy on temperature, I'm going to tell you how many degrees I'm off.
Yes.
And they're really accurate. Temperature is quite good these days, out to 7 to 10 days. It's quite good. If you want to look at accuracy of rainfall, you end up with some different questions like how much rainfall did you miss? And how far out in advance were you able to forecast it? And how far off were you spatially? So let's say you forecasted that really intense rainfall storm that happened, but you were off by 10 kilometers. Well, the people who you missed the forecast for think you were stupid because you didn't get it. And the people that rained on think you were stupid because they got rained on. Right. And so both of them think you're not accurate. But in fact, your model was actually pretty accurate. It forecasted this really high precipitation event. It just got it wrong spatially. So there's a lot of questions inherent in that makes it hard to give you a single grade.
That's a great example. Yes. Now, I do want to turn our focus to AI because, AI is basically in every industry. Is AI playing a big role in forecasting as well?
AI is playing a huge role in forecasting, and that's what I do. So what you're hearing about in the news sort of globally is people who are working on AI forecasting at a global scale. They're developing these large models that are focusing on these larger phenomena like temperature and major windstorms and tropical cyclones and hurricanes. And the AI models are showing a lot of promise at that. You're not hearing as much about in the news, if you're in the weather world you are, but in the sort of everyday news are the smaller scale models that are trying to do things like improve tornado prediction and improve, drought prediction, things like that. But it's very much AI is touching all of those areas.
Yes. And so when we take a broader scope lens with climate change, when we talk about, these extreme weather patterns and events that are happening, most scientists seem to agree that these extreme weather events are becoming more common. I mean, how is forecasting adapting to these kind of extreme weather patterns?
It's a really good question. And we get asked a lot about whether or not AI can adapt to it because how does it predict something it's never seen?
Yes.
My answer for both AI and the numerical weather prediction models is that it's still following the laws of physics. It's just that the environment under which it's following has changed, right? So the amount of temperature, like I'll give an example of how fast the hurricanes are turning into very strong hurricanes. It's because the ocean is warmer, but it's still following the laws of physics. So people feel like it's unprecedented, but yet it's just drawing from the moisture and the heat that is available. Both the AI models and the physics-based models should be able to handle that because they have the laws of physics embedded in them. The AI models are trying to learn from 50 and 60 and 70 years of data so that they can try to infer the laws of physics. And some of them are starting to add the laws of physics in there so that they can do better at it. Right now, the answer is they're not doing as well at extreme events, like super extreme, something you've never seen before. But those are really hard in general, right? You're getting the signal for it, but it's often an under prediction for it. But that can be true for any kind of model. Like if I heard you talking about heat, and I don't do Celsius quite as well, but it seems pretty warm to me.
Yeah, it's hot.
but let's say it was another few degrees even hotter so that it was really unprecedented. Any kind of model will struggle with that right now, right? Because it has to have sort of seen it before in order to tell you that it's about to happen.
I see. Well, Professor, looking ahead, what improvements do you think we'll see in the whole weather forecasting, this industry in the next decade?
I think that AI is here to stay, and AI is going to give you a tremendous number of improvements, right? One of the things that AI enables you to do is to run your forecast really quickly. Those numerical weather prediction models that I talked about, I didn't talk at all about how computationally intensive they are, but they require supercomputers. The AI models you can run on your laptop. Now, you can't train them on your laptop generally. They're pretty hard to train. But once you've trained it, you can run it on your laptop. And so imagine that anybody could run a weather forecast and you could ask questions about the weather personalized to you. And that's where I think the weather's going in the next 10 years, is that you can get really hyper-personalized forecasts that meet your needs. If you're a farmer, if you're owning an industry, if you need to take care of, all these different things that you need to do, you could ask the what if questions and you could get really hyper-local personalized forecasts for you.
Oh, so fascinating. But thank you so much for sharing your expertise and trying to break it down for us, in digestible pieces. So thank you for your time. We do appreciate it, Professor.
Thank you.
This is Professor Amy McGovern, and I personally thought this was so fascinating to find out about just how difficult it is to predict, for example, as she said, those small-scale events versus kind of the larger, the big-scale events. So, sometimes if we get the weather wrong, don't blame us. Don't blame the KMA. It's just really difficult to predict. We're going to get to a song. This is 인형의 꿈 by 일기예보.
언제나 사랑할 텐데
What a great song. And that was by 일기예보. Love it. The connection with our special interview from our producer. I have a little mini correction, and this is coming from Dr. Yu. He asked me to read this. So he wanted to clarify. So he says a pimple is a small bump on your skin caused by clogged pore, etc. And acne is a skin condition that makes you get pimples again and again, sometimes many at once. And, Leslie also, she chimed in with a lot of good facts as well. So sometimes in English daily usage, we do use kind of the terms interchangeably, but technically maybe not the same thing. So I just wanted to clarify. And also, let's get into some of your responses, because I asked you, what do you do when you meet and hang out with friends? That is the question that was posed to you today. And for some of the responses, Leslie says, we will meet up with friends to go out to eat and go to a movie or singing or karaoke. But my favorite hangouts are house parties where everyone brings food and drink to share, and we end up playing board games or watching sports and movies and talking. Leslie, I know you're coming soon. We got to do this because I love the whole board games idea. Maybe we can go to like a working cafe together. That'd be so much fun. But anyhow, I feel ya. We're, same wavelengths right there. Other people chiming in. 고수님 says, 저는 친구들 만나면 차 한잔 하면서 이야기를 하고 시간을 보냅니다. 20대 땐 꼭 무언가를 즐거운 놀이를 찾아 놀았다면 요즘은 건강한 대화를 합니다. Ooh, so he says that, back in his 20s, it was all about like finding something to do. Like you had to do something like really fun or exciting. But nowadays, just, maybe having some tea or coffee and hanging out with friends and having like healthy relationships and conversations is how it goes. So thank you for your messages. And we're going to get to Vasana. I want to see what he says about the text topic. And of course, Buzz Breakdown. I'll be back. It's time for Buzz Breakdown. Guess who is here?
Don't need to guess.
Vasana.
Hello.
On camera. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, yes.
Text topic, you said?
Yes. What do you do when you meet out and hang out with friends or family? What do you do?
I'd like to qualify the question first. I have different kinds of friends. So we all have different kinds of friends. We have
different categories.
Categories. Mm-hmm. I think one time in a class, even uncomfortable friend I had from one student. What is an uncomfortable friend? Anyway, so I usually just meet and talk and drink. As you get older,
what do you drink?
Do
you drink coffee or tea or?
Of course, coffee.
That's not what you meant. It's okay. All the kids are off to school or they're still sleeping. So, what do you drink?
Usually a little bit of mekju.
A little mekju there.
Yeah, a little bit of mekju by my side. Yep.
What do you guys talk about? Just life?
Life. Anything.
Your
music.
Wives, your family.
No.
You don't talk about family?
Don't talk about wives.
Oh.
Yeah. Wives are out of the conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
Just life, music, anything in general.
Life and music, but not the wife.
Not the wife.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into Buzz Breakdown.
Yes.
What do you have for us?
I thought I'd bring up the Lotte Giants again. I think it's the second time I've brought them up.
Must we? I'm just kidding. Of course. Lotte. Okay.
I think last time they were first. Now they are fourth or fifth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Our listeners, they'll let me know. Yeah, they'll let us know.
Yeah.
롯데 지금 몇 등인가요? 알려주세요. Okay, so what are we talking about?
4 or 5. So
Yes.
They lost yesterday, so I don't know where they are.
Oh, so painful. Okay.
So our first word is slump.
Aw, you're going to get some hate messages with this one. Okay, slump.
I should have worn my Samsung Lion shirt.
No.
I brought it in last time.
Vasana 오늘 왜 이러죠? Okay, but okay, the first word is slump.
Slump. So
in Korean, it's
slump.
I know, but I just wanted to, make sure everybody else knew.
You wanted to hear me say some Konglish? Anyway, in baseball and in life, a slump means a period when things aren't going well.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has slumps.
Yep. your team can be in a slump, or you yourself can feel like you're in a slump.
Yes.
Maybe you're tired, you're not motivated. So that's a slump.
Yes, yes.
The opposite side of that is a hot streak.
I'm on a do
the Lotte Giants remember hot streak? If a team wins after a game,
yes,
and game after game after game,
yeah, you got to get a string of wins,
yes,
and then you can say you're on a hot streak.
Yeah, you can't have a one win and then say, "Oh, we're on a one-game streak."
You're a one-hit wonder then.
Yep.
Okay.
we say they're on a hot streak, and once again, like slump, there's a cold streak.
Yes.
So another useful word is form. Form. So you might hear, Kat's in great form today.
Oh, yay! Always.
I mean, she's doing very well today. She's on fire. Everything's on point.
Oh, yeah.
She's hitting all her points and all
I'm
her
hitting all my cues,
etc., etc. And speaking of hot, would you like me to pour some cold water on it with some of my ajashi jokes?
Oh, I'm all for it. Here we go. The aja jokes. Keep them coming.
Okay. Why are baseball games always at night?
Okay, and by the way, I'm not looking, so can you repeat the question?
Baseball games.
Why are they always at night?
Why are they always at night?
I don't know. Why are they?
Because bats sleep during the day.
Bats.
The bats sleep during the day.
Okay.
Okay, next one. So at the Lotte game last week, why was the baseball stadium so hot?
Why?
Yeah, because all the fans left.
Like all the 선풍기s?
Yes, all the fans left.
So hot.
Yes, I had a few more, but I thought I'd leave it there.
Okay.
Because I can hear the groans from some people.
Oh, we have an update. 롯데 지금 KT랑은 같이 공동 4위예요. So they are tied for 4th along with KT.
Before today. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Blanc.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, what's really fun, what I wanted to share more of, is how baseball has given us so many idioms that we use in everyday English. So expressions that are started in the sport, but now you'll hear them in daily life. Business meetings, movies, even conversations with friends. So the first one is step up to the plate.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What does it mean? Explain, English teacher.
So literally in baseball, the batter literally steps up to the plate.
Home plate.
To start his innings. So in English, or rather not the baseball term, it means to take responsibility or show leadership.
Give us an example sentence.
Okay. So when the company had a crisis, the manager stepped up to the plate and showed his leadership skills.
That's a good one.
So maybe somebody was fired, or somebody left, or somebody quit.
Or someone's just slacking.
Yeah. So somebody needed to step up and do the role, fill the role there.
Yes.
So it's about being brave enough to act. It's about taking responsibility.
Right. Those are all keywords: responsibility, and just I love this phrase, stepping up to the plate.
Yes. So the next one is a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Throw a curveball or get a curveball.
Okay.
So a curveball is a tricky pitch to hit. So, and for those who, I'm sure everybody knows baseball. For those of you who don't.
What is a curveball?
Okay, you have a fastball which just goes straight. So that's, you can see it's coming, and it just depends on the speed.
Okay.
It's pretty easy to hit. Well, unless it's coming to you at 110 miles an hour. A curveball is one that has, as the name suggests,
it curves.
A curve.
Yes.
So it's very hard to hit a curveball, not just because of the speed, but also because of the bend. So in everyday life, when someone or something is a curveball, it means you're surprised by something unexpected. So imagine you're ready for a normal workday, and then suddenly the manager says, I would like you to give a presentation in 30 minutes. You go, what?
He's throwing me a curveball.
That's a curveball.
Yeah, so I have a real life curveball.
Go.
This is like so TMI. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And, at that point, my roommate and I, we had 2 kitties.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know I was pregnant with number 3. Until I was 6 months pregnant. And then I told my roommate, surprise baby is on the way. Already 6 months, in the oven. And he's like, you're throwing me a curveball. Are you serious? Is this a joke? And I'm like, no, it's not a joke. In like 3 months, we're having another kid. He's like, but I don't see it. And I'm like, yeah, well, she's in there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That's
Yeah,
a throw. That's a real curveball.
That's a huge curveball.
Yes.
Yes.
Real life stories.
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, he was just like, is this a joke? He asked me like 10 times. And then I started getting angry. I was like, no, why would I joke about something like that?
Wow. Okay.
And our baby Jo, she's wonderful. Well, she's not a baby anymore, but yeah, she's taller than I am. But all right, next term.
Yeah, speechless.
Yes. Is that her? Next term, speechless. No.
Okay, so carrying on from that one is strikeout.
Strikeout.
So his response, he struck out with you.
Apparently he didn't. But yes.
No, just anyway.
Yes.
So in baseball, if you swing the bat 3 times and you miss, and the catcher catches it, you're out. It's a strikeout.
Yes.
So in English, it means you are failing. You can strike out at work, strike out with your goals, and even strike out on a date.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example,
Definitely.
Kat, would you like to go out tomorrow night?
No.
Oh, no. How about the next day? No.
No.
How about the day after that? No.
No.
How about next year? No.
No. No, me, like never. You have struck out.
Yes. You struck out after the first time. You didn't need 3 pitches.
Yes.
Yes. I have a lot more funny examples that maybe not safe for air.
Really?
But then
Okay.
there's out of left field.
Oh, yeah.
So left field in baseball is a place you don't expect action to come from. So if something is out of left field,
it's unexpected.
Unexpected.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for example, his idea to paint the office pink came out of left field.
What is wrong with pink? Real men wear pink. Vasana?
Can you imagine painting?
I hear crickets. I would love if it were pink. At least we wouldn't have these like, okay, I don't want to say, but drabby kind of grayish beige.
I think pastel pink. Yes, I'd be happy with pastel.
Pastel pink, but not like a hot pink.
Not hot pink. I think just in regard to rooms,
yes,
especially for radio. I read a paper on this.
Okay.
Pastel
You read a
colors,
paper.
Pastel colors are good for calming the situation.
Oh, yeah.
And also good for just radio, for the eyes. Good on the eyes.
Pink is very pleasant.
Anything pastel. So anyway, yes. So out of left field.
Okay.
Unexpected. Like when you threw your husband a curveball. That comment also was out of left field.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't expecting it. So similar to a curveball, but not quite the same. Okay, finally, heavy hitter.
A heavy hitter.
A heavy hitter. I've put some examples of Korean people down here, so I don't think people would know them, so I'll give some other people they might know.
Yes.
So in English, baseball, a heavy hitter is a powerful batter. So in Lotte Giants, there is... Yeah.
It doesn't mean... but heavy hitter doesn't mean you're heavy.
No, it does not.
It just means you are powerful, you're good.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't mean like... It means you're good at what you do.
So in the New York Yankees, we have Aaron Judge, for example.
Okay.
And in LA Dodgers, they have Shohei Ohtani. Okay, so they're heavy hitters. I apologize to all the Lotte Giants fans for saying your hitters aren't very powerful anyway. So in English, it means a very important or influential person. So you'll hear this in politics, business, media, anything basically. So she's a heavy hitter in the fashion world. He's a heavy hitter in the political world.
Yes.
So, for example, Lee Jae-myung, obviously, because he's the president. And to a lesser extent, Eun-young, before the presidency was announced. In tech, you've got Elon Musk.
Yes.
You've got all the people. You know what a heavy hitter is.
Yes, of course. I know.
And in this radio station, we have Kat, our heavy hitter in the morning.
You're so nice.
Yes.
Tommy says Lee Dae-ho, like, heavy hitter. And then he was...
In the past.
By the way, Tommy, he's not heavy anymore. I ran into him at a march recently. He was on the heavier side. I'm not making fun of him. Okay. He's a big guy.
Okay.
Or he was. And I didn't recognize him.
Oh, wow.
And I kept on kind of peeking over at this really, really tall guy. And I'm like, he looks so familiar. And it looked like him, the baseball player. And then so I whispered. I was like, is that who I think it is? And then my husband's like, yeah. And I'm like, but he looks so different. I mean, he drastic weight loss. So he's
Idaho?
yeah. In real life, I saw him a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Because they were saying heavy hitter or heavy. But he's not heavy anymore.
No, it's just that I saw him on TV. Maybe that was an old program.
Yeah. No,
okay.
definitely. Yes. All right. And so as we look back on our words, let's do a quick review and then we got to wrap up. So
Very
what
good.
are the words?
Slump, hot streak, form. And then 5 idioms: step up to the plate,
Yes.
throw a curveball, strike out of left field, and heavy hitter.
They're all from baseball, everybody,
They
but we use them
are.
every day. So there you go.
So you don't have to use them all the time.
Right.
But if you are in a situation where you can use them, you now can.
And if you hear it in conversation, you know
Yes,
what it means
you know
now.
what it
So
means, yeah.
yes. Thank you for all the buzzwords. We'll check in with you next week. Thank you, Vasana.
감사합니다.
Oh no, 그러지 마세요. And it's time to wrap up. Vasana, 뭐 드시고 왔죠? And I'm wishing you a wonderful Thursday, everybody out there. Our show, as always, is produced by Jo Ye-ji. We have our assistant producer, Kang Yi-jin. Our writers, Haley Saw, Sue Kim. I'm your host, Catherine. I'll be back to do it all over again tomorrow. How about this one? 입장 정리 by Primary. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Baby. Be my lady, baby. 오늘은 얘기해야 될 것 같아. 다시 정리할래 너와 나의 관계. Yeah. 야, 들어봐. 너와 나 보기도 참 오래 봤지. 우린 좋은 친구야. 매일 같이 붙어 다녔지. 넌 거의 식구야. 내 비밀까지 믿고 말할 수 있는 넌 특별하고 소중한 내 친구야. 그래 친구라 서로 기대고 때로는 취해 치대고 서로의 기대에 못 미쳐 가끔 비대고 그렇게 넌 내 모든 걸 다 알았지. 하나만 빼고 그동안 나 꼭 참았지. 참고 참았지. 난 말하려다 말았지. 널 생각하는 내 마음은 우정과는 달랐지. 하지만 혹시나 우리 사이 멀어질까봐 착각이라고 날 속이면서 살았지. 애달껏 달았지 내 맘은. 겉은 웃지만 힘이 들어 내 안은. 날 똑바로 봐. 나 이제 내게 그 얘기를 하고 싶어. 네 주변에서 중심으로 가고 싶어. Loving you 이제는 말하고 싶은데 Because of you Because of you girl 나는 옆에 혼자 있는데 아마 겁이 나봐 yeah. 네가 떠나갈까봐 나 곁에서 맴돌고만 있어 사실 질투가 났었어. 다른 남자와의 연애 상담해줄 때 잘 안 되길 바랬어. 때론 밤잠도 설쳤어. 나도 연인처럼 낯이 아닌 너의 밤을 갖기를 바랬어. 너와 걸을 때 네 손을 잡고 싶어서 너와 얘기할 때 네 입술에 닿고 싶어서 너 바보처럼 웃을 때 너무 이뻐서 부서지도록 널 세게 안고 싶었어. 참고 참았지. 난 말하려다 말았지. 널 생각하는 내 마음은 우정과는 달랐지. 하지만 혹시나 우리 사이 멀어질까봐 착각이라고 날 속이면서 살았지. 오늘은 말할래 내 마음을. 겉은 웃지만 많이 떨려 내 안은. 날 똑바로 봐. 나 이제 내게 그 얘기를 하고 싶어. 네 주변에서 중심으로 가고 싶어. Loving you 이제는 말하고 싶은데 Because of you Because of you girl 나는 옆에 혼자 있는데 아마 겁이 나봐 yeah. 네가 떠나갈까봐 나 곁에서 맴돌고만 있어.
우정보다 먼 사랑에 더 가까운 사이를 말하는 거야. 시간이 너무 아까워. 나이는 계속 먹어가고 있잖아. 죽기 전까지 즐겁게 살 것 같잖아. 이렇게 너에게 떼쓰는 나를 봐. 우리 계속 붙어 있으니 자꾸만
한국 전쟁 당시